First story. We've been together almost 20 years, 14 married. We have 2 sets of twins ages 4 and 5. I'm seriously not sure what the actual fuck she was thinking. We just moved from a state we lived in for 12 years and where both sets of twins were born, to what has seemed like a really great place until today, filled with promise and outlook, and now it's all come to a screeching halt. I guess the one positive, as far as I know, I don't trust what she says now. She hasn't slept with anyone. She's only texted apparently, which includes sending completely nude video and pics to all sorts and numbers of fucking loser pieces of shit. I feel so bad for our children. I would be gone already if it weren't for the kids. I will never leave my children high and dry. I have their backs always and forever. It's really fucked because I can't just leave our life as it is. So I have to be in the same house with her right now, etc. until something concrete is figured out or decided. I am so lost. I have no idea what the best option is. I am so invested in the institution of marriage. I hate seeing divorces. Marriages work no matter what. Knowing that children get damaged by the idiotic decisions of adults is so hard to watch. And now I fear my family is in that exact circumstance. I want to save things and at the same time I don't want to ever look at her again. Just go our own ways. I know I can't avoid being bitter and resentful. I have such big problems with forgiveness and giving the benefit of the doubt in normal day-to-day life just living. This is on a whole different level for me and I am really unsure about the future. I feel like what she got into and the depth she was in, the frequency, the volume of it all, is inexcusable. She has a mental illness with this stuff in my opinion, and that is in no way meant to degrade her, but any reconciliation would bear the requisite of lots of work, counseling, and self-introspection on her behalf. I just don't know if I can't trust anything again. I would greatly appreciate any and all advice. Please be kind. Appreciate all of you. Second story. I just discovered this subreddit yesterday. 2 days ago, I discovered my partner of the last 5.5 years cheated on me. We met in college and have moved to a new state for work and have been living together for the past 3 years. Since living together, I've struggled more with being intimate, and I wouldn't realize if it's been over a month since we had sex or anything like it. I have fully realized how bad or a problem it is and I genuinely have been trying to seek help via therapists and trying to better my depression. It's been a slower journey I guess, but I know I can't rush anything. But after this long and many talks, he was craving someone's attention so badly, and he found this girl to talk to online a few weeks ago. And last weekend when I was away I learned he met up with her at a hotel and he cheated on me. I'm not saying what he did was excusable at all. I'm absolutely broken. Other than sex, I know it's a huge thing, he really was my best friend. We had so many things in common, shared everything and just really enjoyed our time together. And I guessed we hoped things would get better in the bedroom. I wanted to try couples therapy but didn't see a reason. And now he admits he wished he just tried. He says he regrets everything. He let the AP know about me. And regrets everything and apologized for hurting her. And destroying 3 lives and blocked her. I do believe he shows genuine remorse and he wants a second chance. But I don't want to even consider anything unless I see him in therapy. I see him making any improvement or just bettering himself. Instead of therapy, he went the route of drinking over the years and that has also put a big strain. I really do love this man and everything we had. I don't want to throw him out and know he's struggling. We're still under the same roof but staying in separate rooms. I don't want any physical contact. I'm just hurting and so vulnerable right now. I don't know what to do. He's been honest and has shown me every single thing. He wants to rebuild my trust. I used to have his location at all times, but he turned it off since going to meet her. He's given me full phone access to all bank accounts, email, basically everything. I know he's really trying but I feel so numb and beyond betrayed. I don't want to drag him through the mud. He fucked my whole life up, and now I genuinely love him so much and really saw this amazing life together. And now I can barely function. I just want to figure out my life and what I want. and I don't know where to turn and how to just live. Sorry for the long post. I really just needed to rant. There's so much on my mind, and I just need to get it out and need to know I'm not stupid for still loving him and wanting him to try, with or without him. I just want him to better himself. I don't want to see him drowned in debt for moving out or learned he drank himself to death or anything like that. Both of us have a lot of stuff to work out. In my opinion, him way more than me. I just want to work on myself and process everything and get out of my own head. Third story. Hi all, I'm starting to feel a little bit off about my girlfriend's behavior lately. We have been together for almost 2 years and lived together as well. Yesterday she received a promotion at work, which is very exciting news. She usually lets me know when she's coming home from work at around 5, but this time didn't text me until around 7:30. I went to pick her up and thought nothing of it. She told me she got the promotion and all about the new role, nothing more. I could smell some alcohol on her breath, and asked if the team took her out for drinks. But she told me that a guy at her work had messaged her to congratulate her on her promotion, and asked to take her out for drinks, which she accepted. She has never mentioned this guy to me before, and my girlfriend is naturally a very shy person who doesn't just go to drinks with anyone, which also makes me feel a bit uncomfortable. I told her this morning that it made me uncomfortable and upset that she had gone out to celebrate with another guy for drinks, and she got upset that I wasn't feeling great about it and said they're only friends, and she didn't want to tell me, because she didn't want me to be upset or uncomfortable about it. She actually sits next to him every day at work too. They hot desk and have to book their desks every day, and she actively chooses to sit next to him. They also follow each other on Instagram too, which was also strange to me considering it's the only person from her work she has on there. I'm not really sure how to feel about this. Something feels off about it to me. I don't want to be controlling and tell her who she can and can't see, but it's left me with a bad feeling. Has anyone been in a similar position to me? And how can I handle this? And should I bring it up with her again? TLDR. My girlfriend got a promotion at work, went out for drinks to celebrate with a guy I don't know, and when I told her it made me uncomfortable, she said they're just friends and got upset and angry at me for feeling uncomfortable and upset. Fourth story. Growing up, I never knew my sperm donor cheated on my mom. She didn't know either. When I was 5, he walked away from my mom and siblings, and we hadn't heard from him in over 3 decades. The past 5 years we have found out more than we would ever want to know. He has 3 other kids. One is 6 months younger than me. Another is 1.5 years younger than me, and the youngest is 3 years younger than me. All of them conceived while he was still married to my mom. It literally felt like someone hit me in the chest with a bag of bricks. He has moved past any wrongdoings and wants to be part of my grandbabies' lives. I am grown with a husband and children of my own, and the adult in me is like, whoo. This man is an absolute awe, but the child in me is crying, and in so much pain, because why was I not good enough? What did I ever do to make you leave and never look back? I remember you holding me and telling me how much you loved me, and how I am and will always be your princess. Was all of that a lie? I have a wonderful husband who has been so supportive and held me when I have random moments where I break down. Random moments where I feel like I'm a terrible mother because I'm just like my father. Random moments where I feel like I am not and will never be good enough. And while he tells me I am the best thing that ever happened to him, and the best mom our kids could ask for, their words, he's just restating it. I don't feel that at all. I hate how after all this time this man can still make me feel less than, and I don't even know him. It's one thing growing up knowing your father is a deadbeat. It's another finding out not only is he a selfish deadbeat, he's a cheating selfish deadbeat with no self-awareness for how he destroyed his kids and wife he claimed to love. I'm trying really hard to let this go, but it's not as easy as it looks. I just want to add 5 years ago is when we all found out about the other kids because my sperm donor had a come to Jesus moment and wanted them to finally reach out to us so we could all be a family. My brother reached out to me on Facebook to make me aware of what was happening. I was the only one he could find as my other siblings do not use any kind of social media. I shot it down and told him to never contact me again because I wanted nothing to do with my dad. 2 days ago my dad showed up at my doorstep wanting to meet my kids. Because he got over what happened, why can't we? For context, I am the only sibling from the siblings I was raised with who has any children. My kids have always been aware of why I didn't have a father and want nothing to do with him either. Fifth story. But since she went into menopause, she goes to the gynecologist. Her sex drive has been shut down. We went from having a very active sex life to only having intimacy once every week and then once every few months. I don't really have a problem with it. Do I enjoy being with my wife? Yes, but I have my own hands if she doesn't feel like doing anything. We were fine with this. I just enjoy being with her, cuddling, watching movies, kissing her cheeks. I'm getting old too after all. I just want to be laying with her in peace. Like I said, we were fine with this until a few months ago when she started to feel insecure about this. She insisted for a few weeks on doing me favors if I felt the need, even though she didn't want to do anything, but I got upset and told her to not treat herself like and that I don't want to do anything if she doesn't want that too. After that, she stopped insisting on those things. Until a few days ago when she told me let's open the relationship. I was really scared. I thought I was the problem, but she told me that it has been months since we had intimacy for the last time. And she is afraid that I will cheat on her and leave her for some woman. So she prefers to open the relationship, and like that I can satisfy my needs. The problem is that I have no needs to satisfy. I mean, I'm a human. Obviously I feel desire, but I just go to the bathroom and think about her, that's all. I'm not an animal. I told her I don't want to open the relationship at all. She insisted that we could open it just from my side if I was afraid that she would be with another man, and I told her no. I don't want to be with other women, but she just doesn't believe me. We were really good with this before. I don't know if anyone has put ideas in her head, but I hate that she feels that way, and I also hate that she thinks I'm that kind of man. I really don't know what to do to let her know that I don't need to have intimacy and I just want to be with her. Our kids are older now, so I just wanted to be with her, chilling in home together, even if she doesn't want to have anything sexual. How can I make her understand? Sixth story. So last night my Phil texted my wife, her dad, in case this is confusing, asking us if we wanted this couch from one of his clients. It's a pull-out couch with a mattress and it's really nice. We both said no cause it's heavy, and we don't feel like doing another house project right now hauling it in and out. And there's nothing wrong with our 2 couches we already have, which he also gave us in this same fashion. We also have extra beds. Apparently this is unacceptable and we're lazy and stupid if you don't want this couch, and he just wants us to have nice things. So I was content to just ignore them and go on with my life. But after we put the kids to bed, my wife's mom texts her and asks her to come over. Apparently while she was over there they laid into her about taking this couch, and I don't know what exactly was said. So now they're dropping the couch off Thursday. I have to put one of my current couches out by the road, and they aren't even helping me move it in. I have to ask my 16-year-old brother for help. When I asked my wife WTF happened, she said they want us to have nice things. They think we are bad with money because we live in one of their houses. And they don't like that you said it's too heavy. So I tried to stand my ground, and my wife is pleading with me to just take the couch, get rid of one of the others, and drop it and move on with no further incidents. My Phil is also my landlord, who I pay rent to every month, in case that's changing anything in your guys' minds. I just think this whole thing has been extremely disrespectful, especially to my wife, cause she thinks her dad is calling her stupid. His approval means nothing to me, but the world to her, and I don't know how to handle this in a way that won't rock the boat too much, but makes it clear I don't want anyone treating my family like this. Advice? Thoughts? Why can't he take the couch if he's so passionate about it? That's what I want to know too. Update: I've just spoken with my father-in-law and everything was thrown out on the table, with my wife in the room. We said something along the lines of, we're gonna take this couch cause you're clearly very passionate about it. But we weren't asking for a couch nor looking for one, so please don't keep doing this. I was kind of snippy throughout the interaction cause I still found him to be out of line. But when we were done telling him we would take the couch, I also ended by saying he needed to apologize to his daughter for calling her stupid. She didn't deserve that at all when we were having a totally normal day beforehand. He gave her a hug and gave what I think was a heartfelt apology. Said he was out of line. And hopefully that's just the end of weird furniture drama in my life. Thanks for your helpful comments, unhelpful comments, mean ones, and funny ones. 7th story. For context, it was her cousin-in-law. Let's start this story by saying this happened 12 years ago. I'm now happily married with 3 children and regret absolutely nothing. I was with my new ex for 3 years. I had noticed that she was being extremely controlling. I was expected to give every little detail of my day and tell her my schedule in advance, and if I deviated from that, she would be very upset. She chalked it up to just bad feelings she was having and shrugged it off as her paranoia for past relationships of infidelity. I had never once cheated or strayed, and I never gave her a reason to act like this. It felt unbecoming of my fiancé to act in such a way. Now this is where it gets juicy. After she had asked for my schedule to make plans, as mine tends to be more hectic than hers, I noticed she was texting someone. In my line of work, if I put in more than 40 hours, I have the ability to take time off at will as long as the work is completed at a later date. I was very good friends with the brother and still am. We laugh about this to this day, and he actively reminds her of it. I messaged him stating I wanted to do something special for her a little bit earlier than our anniversary to make sure it was a special surprise. They both worked in the same fabrication facility. He was a fabricator and she a shipping manager. He was kind enough to let me know her schedule. That's where the discrepancy falls into place. Without my knowledge, she was foregoing overtime. She worked 12-hour shifts Monday through Friday, with the exception of Wednesday, when she would only work half a day. She had been taking Wednesdays off right around the time that she started getting extremely controlling. Lucky for me, I had stacked several days of leisure time up, so taking a Wednesday off for me was not an issue. A few days go by, and Wednesday's here. I put on my work gear and leave for work. I was expecting her to leave as our apartment complex had 2 exits on the same road I could see directly across from a shopping center, so I parked my car near the back and waited. After about an hour, I noticed a very specific red Mustang with a specific decal on the back window. It was her cousin by marriage. I had also done my due diligence to take an old laptop, which we kept on our desk in an office area with a full view of the living room, bedroom door and bathroom plus the kitchen. I had set it up for remote access and had it alert me when the webcam noticed movement. Giving her the benefit of the doubt, I thought he may be dropping something off or coming over to assist her with something, as her family sometimes does. Sure enough, a message came through, so I remote into my laptop. He walks through the door without skipping a beat. She unbuttons his shirt and begins kissing him. I created a URL link for the live stream, and as she was preoccupied, we had a family group text and a friend group text. They were both part of it, but at the current time, they were currently indisposed and didn't look at their phones. They didn't even wait. They could have gone to the bedroom, but no. They decided to get freaky deaky right there on the couch. I sent the link off to the friend group chat and the family group chat. Within minutes, I'm getting calls nonstop from friends and family alike. There was no turning back. She was getting blown up, but she was ignoring her phone. Not until the 4th or 5th call came through did they decide to take a break. For context, the state I live in allows recording of personal property regardless of occupancy. I was the only one on the lease. She wasn't allowed to be on the lease because of poor credit. The call she had picked up was from her cousin's mother who she was banging. She answers the phone on speaker, and I kid you not, The first words out of his mother's mouth were, "Stop fucking my son." They both became rigid, and she began to stutter over her words, saying, "What are you talking about?" etc. The mother then divulged that there was a live feed of them sent out by me to her family. She grabbed every pillow off the couch and covered herself up. The cousin staggered off, trying to put on his pants and shoes, just to trip himself up and bang his head off of my coffee table, leaving it with a divot. By this time, I had made my way to the front of the apartment complex. I was there to greet the adulterer as he came out of the front exit. He froze and began to cry, apologizing profusely. I'm not going to lie. What happened afterwards wasn't my best moment, and I nearly got into legal trouble if it weren't for the fact that he was trespassing on private property. Let's just say I had a cast for 6 weeks, and he wasn't in any family photos for months. I went up to the apartment, where she was now fully clothed and crying inconsolably. I asked her if it was snot or cum on her face. Then I told her not to answer because it didn't matter anyway. I gave her 1 hour to remove all her belongings, as again, everything in the apartment was mine except for clothes, some makeup, and a few kitchen utensils. Her mother would not let her move in, as she was just filled with embarrassment. Same for her brothers, and the cousin's mother kicked her son out. Rumors spread around our town very quickly, and for a lack of better words, she was untouchable. 8th story. A childhood friend that was the most empathetic, kind guy I've ever known did a hitch in the Navy. Went into computers, and played guitar in a band, married a pretty mean girl that liked the idea of a big wedding and musician husband, but had no interest in a marriage. She was her family's golden child, drop-dead gorgeous, and completely narcissistic spoiled. They buy land. He borrows money and has his family build their house to reduce costs. He was paying them back over time while she spent money and socialized, sometimes working a part-time job. Inside of 2 years she's bored and starts an affair, or we think never stopped affairs, but gets caught in while the empathetic guy tries to work things out. She makes false accusations of domestic abuse and files for divorce, with restraining order keeping him out of the home he and his family built with their own hands. Now keep in mind he's still paying his family back for the home, still ordered to pay for the land, and most of the upkeep maintenance. He's back in his childhood bedroom while his wife entertains her men in that house. With some research by the lawyer, the family still technically owned the house. Now, my family owned a heavy equipment business, including house structural movers. Look up house movers to verify what I said. When she went on vacation with her family and new boyfriend, we went in, jacked up the house and drove off with it. Repossessed. The structure wasn't covered in the court order, just the mortgaged land. She had legal claim to the land, her name was on the mortgage, but the structure appeared nowhere on the deed. And there was still money owed on most of the materials labor, so it was simply reposted. Now, the judge wasn't happy at all. But it wasn't illegal to repossess since the land mortgage was the only thing he was court-ordered to pay. She came home to foundation, pipes and wires sticking out of the ground, and a crappy used yard barn with her personal possessions in it. Now, it wouldn't be nuclear if it stopped there. Since the main character has recently passed away, I can tell more. We had a guy we called Big Bob, and the name fits. Everyone probably knows someone that defies jail, death, is a walking demolition crew, and in fact we called him Demolition Man for a while after the movie. Apparently someone put huge dildos smeared with dried whipped cream crust in her possessions found when her dad and friends came to get the rest of her possessions out of the yard barn. There were also extreme insertion porn and bestiality porn magazines, bongs shaped like cocks, etc. Someone used her pictures in the dating magazines pre-internet for a paid escort with her phone number. Her parents even had to change their phone numbers a few times. Someone got those change of address cards from the post office and sent her mail around the country. Someone knew exactly when the legal separation happened, and she was supposed to get her own car insurance, but she didn't get that letter. Her car burned down in her workplace parking lot a few days after the legal separation happened, and of course, she didn't get the insurance company notification in the mail, so no insurance. Someone had intimate pictures printed. Man's face blacked out on flyers. The printing pointed out that wasn't her husband at the time and stuck them under windshield wipers at her family's church, every place she worked, all around her neighborhood. Cops got involved in that, but they couldn't find where the flyers were printed. Big Bob was an over-the-road truck driver. Everything died down when she finally agreed to let our friend buy her out on the land for a reasonable sum, paying for it twice, and drop the restraining order. Less than a week after he had clear title, the house showed back up right where it was before. Since it was still on the steel used to move it, all we had to do was stick a truck back under it and take it back, hook it up. This was until she decided to marry a guy from a hard-working family that were doing well. She love-bombed the poor, hard-working sap. He never knew what hit him. She had a bachelorette party with her pretty mean girlfriends at a local recreation lake, and rubbed it in her bachelorette party was going to cost more, be better than her wedding to my friend. I think that's what quelled the nuclear revenge. The flyers showed up all over at his bachelor party, at his parents' house with his family. And her bachelorette party got busted for drugs where they found several people in various stages of undress including the bride-to-be and quite a bit of drugs, bunches of alcohol, etc. When that wedding blew up, the wedding dress from the first marriage to our friend showed up on a scarecrow with a pentagram on the front, what looked like blood paint on it in her front yard. No one even missed the wedding dress from the first wedding until then. Every woke place, every time she dated someone seriously, etc. the flyers showed back up. She finally gained about 50-70 pounds and quit trying to date seriously. She looked like her 70-pound overweight mother but 30 years earlier. She married a fat truck driver eventually. R.I.P. Big Bob, you are one hell of a friend and we are all going to miss you. We will sing the song of your people and raise a glass to you every time we meet.